What up, world? Welcome to another episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always on all podcast platforms everywhere. BrandonJaneauShow, social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, BrandonJaneauShow, and of course, YouTube channel, BrandonJaneauShow. Go, like, comment, do comment back, do it all. Hope you guys enjoy this episode, man. This is Wrestling Life. So, I got two Wrestling Life episodes I'm going to do tonight. Both are top 10 episodes. Um, Both are different, kinda, but kind of the same premise, which is so far, as in 2024, so far. So, one top 10 list is going to be my matches, and the other one is going to be what this episode is, which is my top 10 wrestlers of 2024 so far. But before I get into that list, there's a lot of shit that's going on in WWE. I just in wrestling in general. But I didn't talk about this Saturday or Sunday. So the Behind the Curtains WrestleMania 40 documentary came out the day before the 4th of July. Maybe I talked about it or maybe I didn't. I can't remember. But I didn't really go too much in detail into it until and really talk about how much I watched it and everything. And this is my take on that documentary. So it was supposed to come out right after WrestleMania. That's what has always been, what has been supposed to come out right after WrestleMania. But it was held off. And watching the documentary, I could tell why it was held off. A lot of people giving takes on this documentary. Here's mine. There is never going to be a time where you can tell me and convince me that The Rock ego didn't take full will when it came to WrestleMania 40. He thought he could jump in to a storyline that, yes, most fans have wanted for a long time. Here's the problem with that. You didn't watch the program. You can sit there and say all that you want to say. But when you start this documentary and say, when you start this documentary and you say, midway through this documentary, you say, hey, we're going to still have Cody and Roman be what people were going to see on TV, but let's find a way for me to get into this main event. Let's find a way for me to jump in and take the main event away. Now, I'm not like everybody else on social media where people was like, oh, Triple H told Cody Rhodes to point at Roman and go out there and look sad. No, I really do believe Cody got told this bullshit and was told The Rock is going to take your spot at WrestleMania. And there's not really anything you can really do about it right now. Because at the end of the day, it's The Rock. And now he's on the board. And it's really anything we really can't do anything about it. And The Rock chose himself over the people. Let's be real. I saw this documentary, and they have in this documentary a couple clips of people when they first heard that The Rock and Roman was gonna fight, and everybody's like, "Oh, wow, it's happening." And they kind of talked about the like with the "We Want Cody" uh situation, but they rarely spoke on it in that documentary, like barely there. What I wanted was them to acknowledge the fact in this documentary that The Rock and Roman, they acknowledged the fact that, yeah, most of the fans were super happy at first when this happened, but let's acknowledge the backlash afterwards because you only talked about the "We Want Cody" shit, but you didn't also put into this perspective of saying that that clip of you, Cody giving you his spot, you want to acknowledge the fact that it was one of the most talked about things, but then you don't want to acknowledge the fact that why it was the most talked about thing because it turned into literally people saying disliking that video. It's not one of the most disliked videos in wrestling in WWE history on YouTube. It's one of the most disliked videos in YouTube history. Nobody liked that shit. Nobody cared for that shit. Being, I would never call myself a fucking Cody crybaby, but watching Cody lose at WrestleMania 39 and being like, if he don't win next fucking year, what the fuck was the point? It's one thing for you to jump into a storyline and try to take the storyline over Rock. It's a whole nother thing for you to shit on a wrestling tradition called the Royal Rumble. This man not only wins the Royal Rumble, goes back to back for the first time in 26 fucking years. Since Stone Cold Steve Austin, by the way. And you thought, hey, I could just take the spot because I'm The Rock and nobody's gonna really give a fuck. And you got that shit completely and utterly, extremely blown up in your face. And yet you want to sit there and say, a small portion of the fans, he didn't like that, a small portion, like he's downplaying that. No, nigga, it wasn't a small portion. It was a lot of fucking fans. Probably most of the fans that you so-called said that would probably be happy to see that match regardless, The Rock and Roman. Most of the fans, real wrestling fans who watch the program every fucking week, was like, yo, Rock, we appreciate you coming back, wanting to be a part of this, but motherfucker, you could have did this last year. You could have did that the year before. It's not like this rumor of you and Roman fighting was never out there. This shit been there since like WrestleMania 37. I remember particularly WrestleMania 37, people saying, hey man, The Rock and Roman might fight at WrestleMania 39. It was cool, but you missed the opportunity. You chose not to take that opportunity because you said that the creative plans didn't work for you. So now they did. It just, that documentary could have, you could have took that documentary and shoved it up your ass because that was as bad as that documentary was. It was a fucking stupid documentary. You don't really show too much of what Cody was. You showed a little bit of what Cody was going through, but the fact that you try to make yourself into the hero when you are the motherfucker that caused the problem is the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I literally watching that documentary, I was like, this nigga really think he's the fucking hero. Like he literally was like, oh yeah, I told Triple H and Nick Khan and Aria like I told them, you know, to you know what? Let's just a small portion of the fans. I don't like that the small portion of the fans kept trying to downplay the no nigga. A lot of fans didn't like that dumbass decision. It was a bad fucking decision. You thought you could just jump in and take the fucking spot. A lot of fans didn't like that fucking decision. Are you fucking kidding me? And yet you sat there and still try to put some like hero cape on like you did something. You are the motherfucker that caused the problem. You caused the problem. Like it that documentary was a big ass slap in the face to the actual wrestling fans that watch this. When you sit there and say, "Oh, we would have gotten so many casuals to pull in," fuck the casuals. That's the problem with you. You think casual motherfuckers are gonna keep continuously pay the bills? No, bitch, they're just casuals. They're not coming in to stay. You would have ruined literally you would have ruined the Royal Rumble for no reason. And then on top of that, Roman would have worked face the entire time because as much as people don't like Roman support as the character, Roman would have been a face. You would have been automatically the heel. So even if you would have, and you would have tried to stay face, and it's like, bro, you would have never been face in that scenario. But we got what we got, and I'm happy that we got what we got. But for him to be like, oh yeah, so I just went to them and I was like, you know what, this doesn't work for me. like, like this doesn't work for me. Uh, yeah, I think we should just, I should turn heel. Like you try to make it seem like you were the hero. Mo, motherfucker, you are Hulk Hogan. You were exactly what everybody has called you, Hulk Hogan. And Rock is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He's in my top 10. I think I did a top 10 list. And The Rock is in my top 10. I fuck with The Rock. It just was like, bro, this is the worst time for you to try to act like. It was the worst time for you to act like You were the hero. You fucking caused the problem. There's nothing heroic about that. And then you say, oh yeah, let's pivot to now this. Bitch, you caused the problem. Like I don't like I don't like that. Like I don't like the fact that you sitting there trying to play hero when you caused the fucking problem to begin with. But like I said, we got what we got. It was one of the greatest matches that WrestleMania's put on. But it just made it watching that all over again and hearing him talk was like you did this documentary to try to make yourself into the hero, like, oh, I saved WWE, I saved WrestleMania. In all actuality, you are the reason for why the fucking WrestleMania card started to go the way it was going. You ruined a easily told story because your own selfish ass wanted to get into this storyline. It is what it is. We got what we got. We are now where we at now in the wrestling. Great. But that documentary just put a lot of fans that followed that damn story and watched that shit play out. A lot of us went back and just watching that shit made us realize how fucking stupid you sounded. Trying to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, let's run the let's run the Cody Roman storyline, and then let's really figure out a way for me to be in the main event. Fuck the storyline. Let's just put me in the main event." And it was like you've earned nothing. And then on top of that, it's the fact that Triple H is literally sitting there and being like, "Yeah, so I decided to give Cody the Royal Rumble because I felt like if I didn't, it would have hurt him." And you hear you hear Triple H literally tell Cody like, "Yo, man, I'm sorry, I don't." It sounded like Triple H was like his hands were tied behind his back. He couldn't even do anything because it's like I don't know what you want me to, I don't know what you want me to tell you, man. Like he goes to Cody at the Royal Rumble and say, "Hey, man, listen, The Rock and Roman are probably gonna fight at WrestleMania. I'm sorry to tell you this, but like, yeah, that shit was bad. I that's one of those Rock. I can never let you live down as a wrestling fan because as much as you tried to as much as you tried to pivot from your fuck up, you came into this storyline thinking you was gonna just automatically be the champ, be in that storyline, and you actually made yourself into more of an asshole than you think you did. So, nah, I'm not cool with that. Nah, I'm not cool with that, man. But anyway, man. Um. Oh yeah. So some people got signed to WWE. um. I don't want to say our name wrong. Uh. But it is officially confirmed. Stephanie Vacaria, I think of Vacaria. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. CMLL New Japan star is officially coming to WWE. Shawn Michaels just confirmed it, that she is officially signed to WWE. She's going to be in NXT. Um, it escalated quickly because literally this weekend they were saying that yeah she's gonna be a free agent, and then they were like, oh yeah, she's gonna be. It went from yeah she's a free agent, and now it's like, oh yeah, she signed to WWE. like, what? That shit happened so fast. It's like what the fuck? But she signed. And yesterday, some news came out that the Motor City Machine Guns, which I grew up on that tag team in TNA, Chris Stable, Alex Shelley, like, come on, man. They might be also coming to WWE, which is kind of crazy because if you think about it, AEW was supposed to sign them earlier this year when they were also up for contract negotiations. So it's kind of wild to sit there and say now that they are literally walking. And here's the thing: if Motor City Machine Guns, if they do go to WWE, they do not belong in NXT. Those dudes are veterans. Them dudes belong on the main roster. And as depleted as that tag team division is in WWE, hey bro, I need Motor City Machine Guns to be in WWE. They need to be on the main roster. I don't know if you put. I would personally put them on SmackDown. That's just me. Better tag teams on SmackDown. You got the Street Profits. You got DIY already there. You got Legado del Fantasma. You got Yeah, SmackDown got way more better tag teams. You could put them on Raw. I mean, you could put them on Raw because Raw doesn't really have shit tag team wise. So you could put them on Raw. But yeah, I just feel like if the Motor City Machine Guns are signed into WWE, they deserve to be on the main roster. You cannot put them on NXT. They don't belong on NXT. They have been veterans in TNA, veteran wrestlers, been on the Indies for years. They belong on the main roster. So if they are signing to WWE, I want them to be on the main roster. That would be so dope. And then them versus DIY like Cleveland for SummerSlam, I'm with it. I'm with it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Um, but yeah, man, that's listen. WWE's cooking, man. WWE's destroying shit right now, man. But let's get into this list, man. So, like I said, this list is about my top 10 wrestlers of 2024 so far. So far. It's been some great wrestlers, man. Been some great wrestlers this year. Honorable mentions. um, so Willie Nightingale, uh, AEW. Um, Timeless Tony Storm. I didn't have on here. Mariah May. Got a lot of AEW wrestlers that I probably did put on this list. The Young Bucks. Um, I know it's a tag team, but still, shout out to the Young Bucks. Um, um, who else? Who else? Becky Lynch. Uh, Trick Williams. Who else? Who else? Who else do I not have on this list? Bailey. Io Sky. So you catch the pun here, right? You see how this list is going. The Rock, for what he did do. Yeah, but they are not on this list. So CM Punk, even though he hasn't wrestled. Um, but yeah, man, shout out to the people that did not make this list. So you can tell already how crazy this list is. So coming in, I know I do my top 10 list. I go from 10 to 1, talk about why they're on my list. So let's get into it. So starting at number 10, he is the current world heavyweight champion right now in WWE, and that is Damian Priest. I know people think this is crazy that Damian Priest is on my list, but Damian Priest had a pretty good fucking 2024. I mean, I know we forget shit. Like, I know we forget shit, but the man has been cooking. Like, he wasn't built like a lot of Money in the Bank briefcase winners. Like he won that last year, and he won for most of the year. Like he didn't have outside of maybe being in the big feuds for like Drew and Seth and having those types of. But most of the times he wrestled people. He won. He was a tag team champion for most of last year. Like he lost the belts what one time to Cody and to Jey Uso, and then you come into this year and he was the Money in the Bank holder for well over a good year, for good what 6, 7, 8 months. Was tag team champion going into WrestleMania. Like the man was a champion at WrestleMania night one, lost the belts, and then came back the next night and cashed in Money in the Bank, becoming the second person to ever cash in Money in the Bank, and has been the World Heavyweight Champion since then. I know people don't like the title run he's had. I don't know if you don't like it or you just, but this is the thing about, I know y'all, this is the funniest part about the shit that y'all talk about because y'all don't like his title run, but yet you bitching and moaning and complaining about the Money in the Bank briefcase being cashed in with no success. Forgetting Drew Damian Priest was a Money in the Bank cash in that has the title now. I don't get it. But anyway, I actually like Damian Priest right now. I think Damian Priest is having actually a hell of a damn um, year. I have also been one of those guys that's like, I don't know why Damian Priest is holding the Money in the Bank. I would not go for a champion. But since he's been champion, I actually liked a lot of his matches. I don't think he's had a bad outings. That's the thing. I think the only match I didn't like is the backlash match between him and Jey Uso, but that's because I'm not a huge Jey Uso fan. I'm not. Like earlier, like I like what he does, the yeet shit and all that. That's great. But in the ring, I'm not a huge Jey Uso fan. I think he does better as a tag team. That's just me personally. So yeah, I mean Jay was on my list last year, but that was because of the momentum that he had. But yeah, man, I'm not a super huge Jey Uso fan. I've seen him now for a year without, for at least a couple of months without his brother. I'm not a super huge Jey Uso fan as a singles competitor. He's cool. If I go to Monday Night Raw, I'm gonna do the yeet shit with him. But it's just like I'm not a super huge Jey Uso fan. I think they kind of fucked over Damian Priest with that match. I think it was a bad match to have. But the Clash of the Castle match that he had with Drew McIntyre, I thought was amazing. Yeah, outside of the injury, and even when him being a little fucked up with the the foot and everything, he still put on a fucking banger with Drew McIntyre. And then Money in the Bank was set. It was one of the best matches you could have asked for. And I think, like I've said numerous times, I think he beats Gunther at SummerSlam, and I think Gunther gets his title match at Bash of Berlin and he beats him there. So I think that's kind of how that looks to me personally. But yeah, I like Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest has had a pretty good fucking year so far, and I know a lot of people probably won't give him that, but he's had a pretty fucking amazing year. Coming in number 9 is the former former WWE Undisputed Champion. That is still, to a lot of people, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. Now, a lot of people would think, damn, he low on this goddamn list. What the fuck are you doing? Well, he's been gone for most of the fucking year since WrestleMania, so yeah. But while he was here, I feel like he got lost in that bloodline storyline when The Rock came back. That's just me, personally. Because it's shifted from Roman Cody, which is also kind of why I feel like he got fucked up in that situation. It shifted from Roman Cody to now being about just The Rock and Cody. And Roman just had the fucking belt. And it was like, okay, cool. But I felt like Roman kind of got lost in that storyline. For the most part, it's Roman Reigns though. He's going to probably be on my list regardless. And like I've always said, Roman has always kind of felt like in the middle of the pack for me as a wrestler, but his character has always been legendary. So yeah, but I feel like he kind of got somewhat lost in the storyline. Excuse me, when The Rock came back, and I feel like that's just how he's operated. But for the most part, for what he's done, I mean, they're trying now to bring him back and keep him back in the storyline, which is great. And I know his pop this upcoming year is gonna be at SummerSlam is gonna be amazing. So listen, it's early. It's early. This is just the beginning of 2024. But for the most part, his beginning of 2024 was okay. It was decent. I'm not it was decent. It wasn't super great. I mean the night 1 and 2 main events of WrestleMania definitely has kept him in this list. I would definitely tell you that because night 1 and night 2 of those WrestleMania matches were fucking amazing. So um, hint hint about the top 10 list coming up. But yeah, but Roman is number 9 on my list. Speaking of one half of that main event, coming in at number 8 is the current undisputed WWE champion. That is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes in at number 8 on my list. Now people would think, why the fuck is he not higher? Because I feel like that storyline kind of fucked Cody up too. I think the way The Rock kind of came in fucked up Cody a little bit. The momentum of Cody Rhodes was kind of stifled a little bit, even though it really shifted right back to him. I just wish it didn't take that much shit off of it. I just don't like how that storyline took place because it fucked up a lot of shit for me personally. But either way it goes, Cody has had since he's become like I said, the WrestleMania main events for both nights were fucking amazing. But on top of that, when you put into perspective of Cody Rhodes, Cody uh, winning the title at WrestleMania, amazing. Um, but since he's been champion, I love the match at Backlash between him and AJ Styles. Phenomenal match. I know a lot of people are like, they had no build. It's Cody Rhodes and fucking AJ Styles. Who gives a fuck if it had build? It's going to be fucking amazing. It's Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. Really? Do we need build every fucking 5 seconds? Just enjoy the match. I didn't give a shit. It was a great match. Then he goes to the King and Queen of the Ring and fights Logan Paul, which is a thrown together fucking match. But again, fuck the build. It's them two. It's gonna be amazing. Let's just watch it. And then the Clash at the Castle match with him and AJ Styles. Hint hint. It's fucking amazing, man. And then the Money in the Bank match between him, the Bloodline, and Randy Orton, Cody, and Kevin Owens. And I know him and Solo. Yeah, on paper, it's gonna probably suck on paper. But when they actually fight and they actually wrestle, it's gonna be pretty good. Cody Rhodes can always get at least a 3-star out of me because he's Cody fucking Rhodes. He's not a bad fucking wrestler. People who sit there and act like this man is fucking terrible in the ring. The man's a fucking amazing wrestler. It just depends on the opponent that he's in that ring with. When he's in the ring with Roman, probably a 5-star match. He's in the ring with Seth, probably a 5-star match. He's in the ring with Logan Paul, AJ Styles, 5-star matches. The moment him and Randy Orton finally does decide to wrestle, that may be the first time we see Randy Orton actually have to do more in a match, and that's going to be 5 stars. like him and Solo are going to have an okay match. They're going to have a decent fucking match. It's not going to be a bad fucking match. It might even be Bloodline rules. I wouldn't mind it. But yeah, for the most part, Cody's done amazing. But like I said, the reason for why he's at number 8, winning the Royal Rumble to start off the year, is great. But I did not like how the storyline of Cody having to get back his WrestleMania match when he won the fucking Royal Rumble just didn't make sense to me. And I didn't like it, and I would never like it. So that's just me personally. But he's on my list, and he's at number 8. Now, at number 7. I kind of went. Now, see, if you watch me do my top 10 list, you know how I do my top 10 list when I've done stuff like this. Now, could this person maybe be on my list later on in the year when I do it at the end of the year? Who knows? But for right now, this person's on my list. And that is the current NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez. She's at number 7. Listen, I like Roxanne Perez. I think she's amazing. The match that she just had at NXT Heatwave with Lola Vice is amazing. But her match at um Stand and Deliver in Philly against Laura Valkyria was amazing. Her match against Jordan Grace was fucking fantastic. And she's actually a really good fucking champion. And I think she's what, 22, 23 years old to be that gifted in the ring already. She is a fucking prodigy. Like, you can get mad at it, but it's the fucking truth. She's a fucking prodigy. And so to see her do what she's done in NXT to be the champion again, a 2-time I think NXT champion, she earns it. She deserves it, man. I don't know what she's gonna fit in now with Julia coming and now Stephanie coming. It's gonna be pretty fucking intriguing to see how she's gonna fit in with that particularly. I do believe she's gonna get called up at some point. Maybe I don't know who she drops the belt to, and that's what I've been saying about her. I don't know who she drops the belt to. I don't know who she drops the belt to. Maybe she fights one of them soon. I mean, we're getting closer and closer to the midway point of the year. No, we're already at the midway point of the year, but we're getting closer to, like, you start realizing what's going to happen. I don't know what you do with her. You just signed 2 women. Julia should be coming to WWE real soon. So is Stephanie. I don't know what she really will end up when she's going to end her run in CMLL. But I'm assuming she's going to probably be on the main roster. If she's not in the Royal Rumble, or at least in the main roster by November or December, I can definitely see her in her run in NXT by Stand and Deliver. But I can also see her going back up. I can see her making her main roster debut by like Survivor Series. I think those women coming in as fast as they might be coming in, and then you still got Corey Jade coming in, coming back, and you got some women that's coming to NXT. You still got the mid card women that's coming up. Like I could see Roxanne Perez easily moving up to the main roster by like November. I don't know if you wait too long to give her like it just depends on who comes back and when they come back and who beats her. That's kind of where it is. Like because she's moving up, but she's number 7 on my list. I think she's having an amazing year. The heel change is her being a heel is adorable because she's not she's adorable. Like I can't like you can't even get mad. Come on. But yeah, she's amazing in the ring. So she's number 7 on my list. Just missing the top 5 at number 6 is the former longest reigning intercontinental champion and possibly will be the next world heavyweight champion. Me personally, I think it's going to happen at Bash in Berlin, but we shall see it August 3rd when SummerSlam rolls around. I think it happens at Bash in Berlin. That's just me personally. But with that being said, it is the King General Gunther. Gunther is at number 6 on my list. I know people are like crazily thinking, yo, Gunther was like top 3 last year for you. Why is he 6? Well, there's a reason for that. He got eliminated early in the Royal Rumble, which I didn't understand why, but I guess. It didn't. At WrestleMania, he lost to Sami Zayn, which is understandable and desirable. I get it. But he's been more off TV than he's been on. And that's kind of why I have him at 6. Once he kind of does win a title, he's probably going to be on TV a lot more and with a lot more feuds. You think about him and Ilya Dragunov. You think about him and Seth Rollins, him and CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus and him possibly for the title. Him and Damian Priest are going to have at least a couple battles. You think about that, and then you say, man, when that happens, shit. But for the most part, he hasn't really been on TV. When he wrestles, it's amazing. But for the most part, he hasn't been on TV in the last couple months. And for me, I gotta see you on TV, man. I gotta see you. That King of the Ring him was fucking fantastic. But for the most part, I gotta see him on TV. And that's why he's at number 6. Nothing more, nothing less. But yeah. So before I get my top 5, let me recap the list so far. At number 10 is Damian Priest, who is the current World Heavyweight Champion right now. At number 9 is the Tribal Chief. Still the Tribal Chief. God damn it. But former undisputed WWE Champion Roman Reigns. At number 8 is the current undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare himself, Cody Rhodes. And number 7 is the current NXT, 2-time NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez. And at number 6 is the former Intercontinental Champion, but he is the king of the ring general himself, and probably future World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. Alright, starting at number 5 is the former World Heavyweight Champion. Well, Women's World Heavyweight Champion, that is. The Eradicator, and possibly the future World Heavyweight Champion, Rhea Ripley. Yes, I know I just said going through his at 6 because he's not really on TV too much, and Rhea just literally came back from injury. But for the most part, Rhea has held down a women's division. Gunther is one thing, but Rhea has held down that women's division, and you can tell immediately her being back is like a game changing feeling. I don't know what happens at SummerSlam. I don't know if she automatically beats Liv. I don't know if she beats Liv anytime soon, to be honest with you. But I do believe she's going to be World Heavyweight Champion again. The Judgment Day situation, like I said Saturday when I did the Judgment Day, when I talked about it on Monday in the Bank, I said that they can't break up the Judgment Day until Rhea comes back. And now that she's back, it's going to be interesting. That storyline is going to be interesting. But for the most part, her 2024 before she got injured, it's fucking fantastic. I mean, let's be real. She main events Elimination Chamber in a home country, which makes sense because you're literally having the damn main event, the PLE, just for her in her home country, so it makes sense. Then she goes off and has a pretty amazing match with Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, who both of them were fucking injured going into the damn match. Becky Lynch was dealing with strep throat, and she had a broken, I think, wrist or something like that. So hey man, but for the most part, Rhea Ripley before that was killing shit. So I'm not surprised Rhea is having the year she's had, and like I said, now she has a chance to possibly move up on this list or even move down on this list. I don't know, but for me personally, Rhea Ripley is definitely top five of the wrestlers in this damn world so far. Coming in at number four, AEW fans get excited because now at number four is the current Continental Champion, the one and the only Will Ospreay. Yep, I know it sounds crazy that for most of this damn list has been all WWE. Most of this list has been all WWE. But even I can acknowledge when Will Ospreay is on TV and he's wrestling, the dude's fucking fantastic. He's had some fucking classics already in AEW, and I can't even knock it. I'm not a hater either, but the man is fucking amazing. I wish he was in WWE. I can't knock that either. I can't lie. I wish he was in WWE. To see him and Cody doing like a Cody cutter or a Osprey cutter battle would be fucking fantastic. Him and Seth going at each other, him and Chad Gable, him and Gunther, it would be fucking fantastic. But tonight, I get to see Will Ospreay on AEW, and I'm all for it either way it goes because the man's on American TV, and that's all the fuck that matters. I can't wait to see what he does in AEW for the next couple of months. At some point, he will capture the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I don't know if he gets it from Swerve or he beats somebody else, but I do believe by the end of this year, he will be AEW World Heavyweight Champion. There's not too many people that can stop him from that. Coming in at number three is the Scottish psychopath himself, Drew McIntyre. I should say former World Heavyweight Champion, but he only had the belt for like 5 minutes and 46 seconds. CM Punk would not let us forget that, and that's kind of fucked up. But anyway, Drew McIntyre has had an amazing 2024 to say the least. He turned heel, which is amazing. He turned heel. He turned heel. Won the Elimination Chamber. Injured CM Punk in the Royal Rumble. Told this man to his face in one of the most amazing promos I've ever heard in years. It's just damn right disrespectful. This man literally looked at CM Punk, told this man to his face. Yo, this man told this man to his face. I prayed for this and it happened. Yeah, yo, this shit was so fucked up. Yo, he's like, I'm not really a guy. I don't know what I believe in, but I prayed for this and it happened. Like I just need you to know. He said when I heard the news, when I realized that you that I got eliminated in the Royal Rumble, and I realized that you like he was like just he's like I couldn't live myself knowing. And then I heard the news yesterday that you torn your bicep, and I was like I prayed for it and he said last night I slept like a baby last night. Like God damn, you're the fucking hatred. It's just like this man told us that to his face. I prayed for you to get injured, and it happened. I slept like a baby last night. Like yo, this shit was disrespectful as fuck. Yo, that shit was so disrespectful. That shit was disrespectful, man. Won the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania. Lost it thanks to CM Punk. And has been on a fucking tear since then. The man is amazing. It's one thing to have promo work and turn heel and be the best heel possible in a fucking company and have a storyline that has lasted for damn near what 7, 8 months. It's one thing to have that, and also before, well, what midway through this year, The man beat Cody Rhodes at the time to be the what, second person to pin Cody Rhodes. Do you forget that Drew McIntyre is the second person to actually pin Cody Rhodes in WWE? Now The Rock has done it and Solo has done it, but Drew was the second person to ever pin Cody Rhodes, and that was earlier this year. So shit happens, man. I mean, this is different, man. Still, Drew McIntyre this past weekend winning Money in the Bank. Now, yeah, of course he did, cash in successfully, but hey, the storylines are amazing. But I would not be doing my job if I did not have Drew McIntyre on this goddamn list. This man is number three for me. He's one of my favorite wrestlers right now. I can't even knock it. He's one of my favorite wrestlers right now. The man's a fucking menace. I love it, and it's awesome. The man popping up in Chicago, beating the shit out of CM Punk, and leaving this man on stage, taking his man's wife's bracelet with his man's wife and his dog on it. Oh my god, the man was the best. It was the best. It was the best. Coming in number two. He is the current world heavyweight champion. AEW World Heavyweight Champion, that is. And that is Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house, obviously. The man is having an amazing 2024. And in the world of professional wrestling, where black wrestlers really don't get their just due, the man is the World Heavyweight Champion of one of the most impactful companies in the world. And that is what it is. And it will be completely remiss if I didn't give this man his just due. The man is amazing in the ring. How another one that WWE, Vince McMahon, stupid son of a bitch, fucked up. And he walked out the company, went to AEW. It's taken him a while, but now that he is officially established, he is now the World Heavyweight Champion, beating Samoa Joe to win the belt. Now, yeah, he fought Christian Cage, who gives a shit, but the match with him and Will Ospreay is the reason for why both of these men are so highly ranked on my list, because that match is fucking amazing. If you haven't watched it, I think it's still up on YouTube. Go watch it. It's fucking amazing. Swerve is having an amazing fucking year, and like I said, I would be remiss if I did not give that man his proper respect. I actually watched the night when he took the belt from Samoa Joe. It was one of the best nights I've seen in wrestling history. Swerve is that dude, man, because he swerves when he drives. At number one, as much as I love Swerve, as much as I love that, I'm terrible. As much as I love Swerve, he can't get past the number one wrestler on my list. Come on, man. If y'all have seen me do wrestling lists, y'all know who the fuck number one is. Do we need to go either farther on this? Obviously, it's Seth fucking Rollins. Are we fucking kidding ourselves? Seth Rollins is number one on my list. To be the World Heavyweight Champion for as long as he was World Heavyweight Champion, to have the year that he had as a World Heavyweight Champion, and to have done all that with a torn MCL and a partially torn meniscus, and then go out there at WrestleMania night one and two and work like he worked. If the man is not number one, I don't know who the fuck is. I don't know who is. Seth Rollins had an amazing WrestleMania. He wrestled 40 minutes against The Rock and Roman Reigns just to be a tag team partner of Cody Rhodes. Then went on the next night at the beginning of WrestleMania 30 40 night 2 and had another great match with Drew McIntyre. And then still came back later on that night just to take a couple chair shots, take a chair shot from Roman Reigns, just to have Cody Rhodes win the title. And then come back a couple months later and have one of the best matches at Money in the Bank with Drew McIntyre. Now, screwy finish, well, screwy midway point, but at the end of the day, it's still Seth Rollins, man. Seth is an amazing wrestler, one of my favorite wrestlers. And to sit up here and act like Seth Rollins does not deserve to be on this list, you're fucking delusional. Seth is my number one. Now, at the end of the year, we shall see what happens. But for right now, Seth Rollins is number one. Now I do this, I gotta recap it. At number one is the former World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins. Number two is the current World Heavyweight Champion, AEW World Heavyweight Champion, that is, Swerve Strickland. At number three is the Scottish Psychopath and former World Heavyweight Champion, Drew McIntyre. At number four is the current Continental Champion, Continental World Heavyweight Champion, Will Ospreay. At number five is the former Women's World Heavyweight Champion, Rhea Ripley. At number six is the former Intercontinental Champion, but the King of the Ring General himself, Gunther. At number seven is the current two-time NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez. At number eight is the current undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. At number nine is the former undisputed WWE Champion and still Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. And at number 10 is the current World Heavyweight Champion, the one and only Damian Priest. Hope you guys enjoyed this list. When this episode comes out, give me y'all top 10. I want to know who y'all top 10 wrestlers so far of 2024 is. If you agree with my list, if you don't, I don't know. But please tell me who would y'all have in y'all top 10. Like I said, got 2 episodes tonight. So stay tuned, because the next one is coming soon. Till next time, I am BrandonJaneau. This is Wrestling Life. Hope you guys enjoy this list. Peace.